and adult themes. Please check the episode description for content warnings.
On tonight's episode of Daniel's Dread Tales, Low Places, the crew encounters...
That's not what we're doing.
Wait, what? What do you mean that's not what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, we're doing the thing.
What? I have been informed that it will not be an episode of Low Places tonight, but rather a one-on-one adventure Daniel and Russell undertook with the system Gumshoe 121 in the world of Cthulhu Confidential. I've been told it's a detective tale with twists, turns, semi-missing persons, and of course, the mob. All that and more in tonight's episode of The Fathomless Sleep. Enjoy!
Welcome to another episode of Daniel's Dread Tales. This week, we're going to be playing a game of Gumshoe 2-on-1? I forget how you call it. Cthulhu Confidential. Gumshoe 2-1? 1-2-1? It's Gumshoe where there's one player and one game master, so it's only two people. And it's a good time.
Gumshoe X versus Sever.
Yeah, X versus Sever, that too. I am your host, Daniel Fernandez. I will be playing the Game Master this time, and you already heard their voice. I am joined by...
This is Russell. Hello.
And today we're going to be playing an adventure adapted from the Cthulhu Confidential book called The Fathomless Sleep. It's like the big sleep, but bigger.
Extra sleep.
Yes. And this book is, once again, Gumshoe 121. That's what it's called. I looked at the cover.
Gumshoe 4 total.
This adventure is written by, or this book is written by Robin D. Laws, Chris Spivey, and Ruth Tillman. So while, I'm going to put my own spin on it, I want to give them credit. I'm not sure which one wrote this one or if they all wrote it together, but I want to give them credit. Shout it out. So, who is our hero in this adventure?
That'd be Dexter Dex Raymond, a hard-boiled Seamus.
Yeah.
Seamus? I'm never sure.
Seamus. Yeah. I think is how you say it. A Seamus?
Samus? I'm going to go fight some Metroids later.
Yes. Curl into a ball.
Always.
Yes. It's fun to be a ball.
Yeah.
The year is 1936? Sure. 1936.
Why not?
The place, Los Angeles. And we are in Dex's office. Dex, tell me about your office.
It is small and dusty and cramped.
Small and dusty and cramped. Okay. What's a distinctive thing about it?
The amount of dust is bordering on unhealthy.
All right. So is that because you just don't clean? Is it because you don't use the place often? Why is it like that?
I don't get much use out of it because I do not see many cases.
So you're having a bit of a cold streak these days.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because you have done cases before. You have connections. You've dealt with the police and stuff before, and you know people in town. But maybe it's been a little bit of a dry spell recently.
Just too many of my cases end up in murder.
Yeah, that's no good. Then the corrupt LA police often end up, and then it's a whole thing. All right. Yeah. So one other thing we need to decide before we get started, we need to determine what problem Dex has at the moment.
I took a look at him earlier, and Dex is broke.
Dex is broke. I guess that explains the dust.
Yep.
You are having trouble keeping the lights on,
Oh, I don't think I am keeping the lights on.
You're not keeping the lights on? All right.
No, I got candles set up in here.
Your secretary didn't come in today because she's suffering from you haven't paid her in a couple of months?
Yes, so it's a chronic condition.
Yeah. So as you are in your office, there is a knock at the door.
I spring to the door and answer it.
just so excited to be at the door.
Hey, hi. Welcome, Dex Raymond, Private Eye, what do you need? I mean, tries to play it cool.
The woman at the door is a beautiful woman. She's got short brown hair, sort of cut in like a bob, and she's very fashionable look, but she's dressed sort of down-to-earth business style. she's not like going out to party or anything, but she is definitely a woman who looks like she has a lot of money.
Best kind.
The best kind, right? Yes, Detective Raymond, is it?
That's what they call me, yeah.
All right. I'd like to hire you.
And what did your name be?
My name is Margaret Deacon.
Nice to meet you. Take a seat and we can talk through the details of your case.
All right. She takes a seat. What are the chairs in the office? And how horrible are they?
Exceptionally squeaky.
They're squeaky? All right.
Yeah.
She looks a little uncomfortable as she's sitting in the chair.
That's to be expected.
I want you to find out what happened to my sister, Mr. Raymond.
Can you provide me any details? Is she missing? Departed?
6 weeks ago, my dear sister Helen went missing. She disappeared. We all thought that she'd recently been having a few too many drinks, having a couple of wild parties, and we thought maybe, she just was out on a bender. But then she was gone for 2 whole weeks. We couldn't find her. Then 4 weeks ago, with no help from the police, of course, Helen turned up. Police did pick her up, but she was wandering the streets of downtown late at night. She was wearing only a slip, and it was covered in blood.
That's quite the hairy predicament indeed.
Yes.
This was 4 weeks ago, and you're still in my office now, so I assume there's more to the story.
Yes. Well, something happened to her. She didn't recognize me. She didn't recognize our father either. She's been almost completely mute and catatonic. We've hired doctors, we've hired therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists. They can't figure out what happened. They just know that she's gone through some sort of horrible ordeal. I was hoping that she was just going to turn up, and then she didn't. And I worry that, look, I want to get the sons of bitches who did this to her. And I want you to find out who they are.
Well, I think I can certainly look into this for you. We can agree on a rate, and expenses are included, of course.
Of course. Money will not be an issue.
Excellent. Ignore the thing my eyes are doing.
By the way, when you're talking to her, let me know if there are any investigative abilities you would like to use. Use any of them that you would feel are worth using.
Accounting.
The name Deacon rings a bell. Deacon Development is a real estate firm. And while Roscoe Deacon is technically CEO of the organization, Margaret here runs all the day-to-day operations of the firm. She's a tough cookie. She is not to be underestimated, despite her youth and her, gender, and she is running the company and doing an excellent job of it.
Fantastic. So if I were to take her for everything she's worth, that'd be a pretty penny.
Yes, it would be a pretty penny.
All right.
You could use your skills. You could also just ask her some questions, which would probably, be the beginning of your case here. Yeah.
Certainly. Well, where is your sister now, miss?
Well, Helen is at the manor with my father and I and a few servants.
I suppose the first step would be speaking to her, if that's at all possible.
I would... You won't be able to get out of anything. I worry that all you'll do is put her into one of her fits.
Fits, you say? That's not something I generally associate with someone in a catatonic state.
When she'll scream and claw at everything around her incoherently. It's unclear what sets her off.
Well, this time while she was missing, were there any letters delivered, ransom notes, that sort of deal? And when she turned up, were there any unusual marks on her body?
Well, that's 2 questions. I'll answer the second one first. Whatever injuries she suffered that caused all of the bloodstains had healed by the time she turned up. There were no more signs of significant wounds. She had some bruises and some superficial cuts, but besides that, she was okay. Also, I suppose this would matter for your sort of investigation. Her virtue seems to not have been violated.
Well, that's comfort to the family, I'm sure.
Yes. I know that she was hanging out. Well, the person who came to visit was a man by the name of Marsh. I don't know if that's a first or last name. I know that I had seen Margaret with him a few times. I believe he works at Capitol Pictures. He seemed handsome and angry, the jealous type.
Maybe I ought to have a word with this Marsh.
Perhaps. The problem is, I know Helen was juggling several men. That's just...
A bit of a floozy, you say.
Excuse me. This is my sister.
Yes, and this is 1936.
Look, she's a good girl. A little impressionable. When Mother passed away, she got involved with this order called the gosh, I don't remember. Argent Light. They're a bunch of nonsense talking about auras and secret masters and pyramids and whatnot. I wish I'd known more, but yes, I did treat her like a little bit of a floozy, and so she stopped confiding in me. If only had been closer.
Well, we can't change the past. We can only do better in the future.
Yes. Well, do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Raymond?
I think that should be enough to start tracking down some leads, anyway.
Could you give me a light? She says, offering her cigarette.
My father taught me that a beautiful woman should never light her own cigarette. I hold out a candle.
She smirks. She's honestly a little charmed by it. Will you see this to the end, Dex?
Like it says on the door, the truth is never deeper than 6 feet.
All right, I need you to make a cool roll. So let me explain how the rolling works in this game. There's going to be a number that you're aiming for. Okay? In this case, a 4 is an advance, a 2 to 3 is a hold, and a 1 or less is a setback. That's all I'll say about what they are.
Okay.
If you would like, you can gain an additional die if you would like to gain an additional problem. One might call it a devil's bargain if we were playing another system.
Interesting.
So, I need you to make a cool roll.
All right.
4 plus advance, 2 to 3 is a hold, 1 is a setback. If you would like an extra die, you can have it, but you will gain the extra problem of sourpuss.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'll just roll the 1 die. I'll save
Okay.
the problems for later.
Sounds good.
That is a 6.
All right. You are able to keep it professional with this beautiful woman who thinks you're funny. Well, you can see why 100 guys would fall in love with a woman this glamorous and smart. Fortunately for you, you're not one of those guys. And in fact, you are going to gain a card called Self-Possessed. This is an edge card that I'm going to give you. That will be a bonus that you can use going forward. Because we're playing this online, I will paste a copy of this, Self-Possessed. But this will allow you to either add an extra die to a cool or stability test, or just get a +2 on any general test. But you only be able to do it once. But a show of self-control gives you the confidence you'll need if this case gets hairy. There we go. I'm going to copy it over. I'm going to paste it in the Discord so you can look at it. I don't know how you want to keep track of these cards, but I'm just going to give you these cards.
Experience has shown that I will probably forget all about it.
No, okay, cool. You can only do it once, but you could use it when you're having trouble.
All right.
I've got all sorts of cards. Good cards, bad cards, cards.
Excellent.
All right. Well, she gives you her card, and says, "Please be in touch," and sees herself out. Do you say anything as she's leaving? Do you do anything else, or you just let her go?
I let her know I'll be in touch as soon as I learn anything.
Seems like this is not going to be a romance one, which is fine. You're self-possessed. You're good to go.
Yay.
All right. So, where to, boss?
Well, it sounded like this Marsh fella is worth talking to. If only to establish what is likely innocence, because that's not how Lovecraft stuff goes.
What are you talking about? It's always the jealous boyfriend. Okay, so where are you going to go then? Where do you think you're going to find him?
I believe I heard something about a film lot.
Yeah, at Capitol Pictures.
Capitol Pictures, yes.
Yeah. I suppose I should mention they. I wasn't make this clear. Marsh was a screenwriter at Capitol Pictures. So you make your way to Capitol Pictures. There are security guards that protect people from going into the fancier areas where like fans would be trying to see movie stars or stalkers might be around. But getting to where the writers are, there's not really much security protecting them.
Ah, perfect.
You could sneak in, or honestly, you could probably even just stride in confidently and act like you're supposed to be there and you'll be fine. Which one do you do?
If anybody asks, I'm just going to tell them I'm a background extra for the new movie, Dimension Y.
Ah, sounds good. All right. The writers all work at Typewriter Alley, which sort of resembles a one-story motel with little offices that are connected by like a wooden porch that under a terracotta tiled awning. And you see that there are, nameplates on all the different doors. You're going around looking at them. What time do you think you're here? What time do you think you're here?
Oh, just afternoon.
Just afternoon? Okay. As you're going along, you do see one nameplate for a Marshall Daily, which, looking at all the other names, that seems like it's the only one that could be a Marsh. And as you're looking at it, you see a gentleman sort of walking up to the door. You recognize, like, oh, this is probably Marsh. And he looks like he's just pulling in right now. He's parking his car and coming over. This guy is coming in pretty late today. He hasn't seen you yet.
Ah, perfect. Did I get the name of the victim here?
The victim? Yes, I did tell you the name of the victim, but maybe you forgot. That's going to be... Fuck, it's not Margaret. I kept saying Margaret. No, it is Mark. Yeah, it's Helen. Helen is the name.
Right.
Helen Deacon. So if you'd like, you could try to hide with like your shadowing skill, or you could just walk up to the guy,
I'm gonna lean against his door real cool.
Lean against his door real cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Light a smoke.
All right.
Tilt my hat so it's just covering my face a little bit. I'm supposed to be hard-boiled here.
Yeah, gotcha. Hey, who the hell are you?
Dex Raymond. I'm here on account of a Helen Deacon. I believe she's familiar to you.
Okay, I know who you are. You're one of those damn scoundrels that's following me all the time. This guy seems mad. Is there anything you want to do with the fact that this guy seems really mad?
Just continue being super cool.
Okay. Make a sense trouble roll.
Sense trouble.
6 is an advance, 3 to 5 is a hold, 2 or less is a setback.
I have 2 dice for that.
Okay.
That is 2 ones.
Oh. He pulls a knife on you.
Shit. My cool immediately vanishes.
You get into a bit of a scuffle. You're able to knock the knife out of his hand, but he gives you a black eye that makes you look like a chump. You're getting into problem, Shiner.
Okay.
And then the problem is not over yet. This is, classic noir detectives. You're getting your shit beat up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
At least you didn't get the problem stabbed. Just somebody might stab you later is really the thing
that's
that was
good.
Going on.
Good to know.
There are other people with knives.
Good thing I was wearing armor.
Yeah, right. You're still going to need to calm him down. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude, but I am not... He wouldn't call you dude. It's not that time.
Maybe he's a cowboy.
Maybe he's a cowboy. Okay? But I have had it with you people stalking me.
I'm going to use intimidation, if that makes sense. I guess I wouldn't roll for that.
You cannot use intimidation when he has just punched you in the face.
Right.
Yes. In another situation, it might have been fine, but he,
I'll do the proactive version of intimidation and fighting.
Oh, Okay. I will say this. You have a little bit of an edge in this fight. You're going to be able to beat him. Okay, let's make a fight roll. Okay, that's going to be a difficulty. You trained in fighting?
I am. I have 2 die.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, it's going to be a 5 is an advance, a 4 to 3 is a hold, and a 2 or less is a setback.
Okay. That's a 6 and a 3.
Okay, so that's a 9.
Okay, so I add them together. Gotcha.
You add them together. Yes, to be clear. Yeah, you rolled the 2 ones before, so it wouldn't have really... Yeah, you add them together. Yeah, you're able to beat him up, and he's now on the ground. He says, what the fuck, man? I didn't do anything to you. Just leave me alone.
Well, there's a young girl who's catatonic right now, and from where I'm standing, you look to be suspect number 1. Pulling a knife and starting a fight with a fella doesn't make it look any better.
Okay, I'm going to get... The security people are going to hear about this, and they're going to be over here, and you're going to be in fucking trouble, man. I don't know any girl who's catatonic. What are you talking about?
Helen Deacon, remember the name?
What? Helen? Is Helen okay?
She's catatonic. Sister came by a little while ago and gave me a list of names, and yours was at the top of it.
What? No. No, I would never do anything to hurt Helen. Okay, it seems like... Please, come inside my... Ugh. Come inside my office.
I'll help him up and we'll head in.
All right.
Because it's the 1930s, and, fighting is just shaking hands.
Yeah, apparently. This place is small, cramped. It has a typewriter, 2 chairs, a bookshelf. Nothing too exciting. It's just mostly where he works. But it seems like while he does work, he definitely does not work early because he's coming in at the crack of noon here, the crack of 1. So Helen's okay, or well, she's alive?
Yeah, at the moment. Wow, that sounded more ominous than I intended.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never do anything to hurt Helen. I know she kept me at arm's length, but I understood the arrangement. She had other guys, I had other gals. It just, it's fine. They'll just sort of do our own thing. I was worried about her. When she didn't come in for like over a week, I went and tried to find her, but then that battle axe with the kitten heel didn't want to talk to me and just sent me away. And what happened?
Well, about 6 weeks ago, she went missing. Somebody roughed her up something good, and she's been bedridden at her sister's place ever since.
Oh, God. Well, 6 weeks ago sounds right. I used to get regular visits from Helen. She would drop in and, we'd have a little tumble and she'd leave. Yeah. Last time I saw her, she was in the office. Gosh, I don't know the exact note of the date. It was a regular thing until it wasn't,
I suppose I should assess honesty here.
That does make sense. He's being cagey about something.
Well,
if you would like to spend a push, you could find more information about what he's being cagey about.
Oh, I'm absolutely...
Not quite what he's being cagey about, but yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
You only have the 3 pushes, but yeah. Okay.
I can see you're not playing it straight with me. Out with it.
Well, I will say this. Everything that he has said so far seems truthful. It just seems that he's a little cagey and he's having a little bit of a lie of an omission here. Yeah.
If we're going to help this go, I'm going to need all the details, Mr. Daly.
Yeah. I don't know who she would hang out with. She tried to get me to go to her group, the Order of the Argent Light. It was run by this kook named Clara Nabel. I laughed at her, and then she never brought it up again. I know I found some chips from a casino called the Alegria in her clutch one time. I tried to have her come with me there, but she looked like me like there's nothing she would like less. I guess she doesn't want me to see her with her casino friends. I don't know.
A bit of a gambler, eh?
Well, I guess so.
Hmm.
Look, I'm having a lot going on right now. Like I said, some people are following me.
Yeah, what sort of people?
I don't know. There's at least one guy. I know there's a guy who's taken some pictures of me. Okay, you look like a private eye. I thought maybe you were stalking me as well. I don't know if it's a jealous husband or something, but when I find that guy, he's gonna fucking get it.
Well, I'd advise you to ice your wounds first before you get into any more fights.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be... Yeah, I guess I'll need to practice a bit. Ugh.
Lose the knife.
Yeah. You notice a little bit, his lie of omission stuff seems to be around even more. He's being very cagey when he's talking about the guy who's coming after him, especially when he's like, yeah, it must be a jealous husband.
Yeah. That seems like a him problem.
Yeah. Well, so what happened to Helen? You don't have any idea what happened to her? Was it an accident? Was it a...
There's a bit of a noir swell here, and I say, well, that's what I'm going to find out. And then we cut to the next scene.
Okay, got it. So, where do we see Dex going to next?
Well, I know that I should check out the Argent Flame. Right now, I don't know where I would do that, but I do have the name of this casino. The Alegria.
All right. So, the Argent Flame is actually in the phone booth. The Alegria is not. Because, you see, casinos are not legal in Los Angeles.
Ah.
However, you are the kind of person who knows this sort of thing. And anytime you want to use your knowledge of LA's criminal enterprises, you could use your streetwise skill, which you are quite knowledgeable about.
Well, perhaps my cop talk.
Cop talk as well,
Yeah.
yes, can help a little bit. But cop talk isn't going to necessarily give you the names of every mobster in the city. Neither will quite the streetwise, but let's see here. The Alegria is at the end of it's like in a suburban part of Burbank, close to Warner, Universal, and Disney Studios. It's like a big old ranch style house that's in a legal casino.
Yeah.
A guy named Whitey Alexander runs it, and he works for the System, which is the current mob organization that runs Los Angeles.
Okay.
The System all pay up to a guy named Guy McAfee, who is a former vice cop turned crime lord.
Sort of a multi-level marketing thing.
Kind of, yeah. Whitey is, he's a mobster. If you get in his way, he'll hurt you. But if you're lining his pockets or not standing between him and his profit margin, he's a nice guy. He'll treat you right.
Gotcha. I'm sure we've had a run-in or two before.
Yes, you've probably had a run-in or two before. If you would like, you could spend a streetwise push to have a respectful relationship with him already.
Oh,
you don't have to have one, though.
I like that.
Oh, you would like to be sort of pals with Whitey?
Yeah.
Okay. So Whitey sort of thinks, for a dick, you're all right, Raymond. Why do you think Whitey feels comfortable with you?
I've turned a blind eye a couple times. Maybe a couple more than I oughta.
Yeah. All right. Well, the place opens at the supper hour. So, but it is a bit of a drive to get there. So you might get there a little bit early, but that's not the end of the world. But actually, I need you to make a sense trouble check. 5 or more is an advance, 4 or less is a hold. You could take an extra problem, paranoid, if you would like another die.
I rolled a 9 again.
You rolled a 9 again. Okay. Oh, by the way, you can't make a bargaining, intimidation, or reassurance push.
Okay.
Because people are not going to, take you seriously because you have a black eye.
That's fair.
Okay. Hey, you're being tailed.
You're
driving a car. There's a car that's following you.
I guess I'll pull over.
Okay.
Nothing stops a tail faster than not moving.
All right. Okay. So you stop, and you can tell the guy who's sort of following you gets confused a little bit, stops a little bit, and then just sort of drives past you.
I wave at him as he goes.
He drives faster. Would you like to follow him?
Sure.
Okay. Make a oh no, you're in a car. Make a driving roll.
Uh-oh. I'm better at sensing trouble than driving.
3 or more is advance. 2 is a hold. 1 is a setback.
That is a 3. No, 4, actually.
Okay. You are able to... Would you like to try to follow him back to where he's going, or would you like try to like stop him and confront him? What are you trying to do?
Just follow.
Just follow? All right. Good, because that actually would have required a 4, which you did get. You see that he drives to a house. It seems like a lovely little place in Beverly Hills. You see he goes inside, he parks the car. You see there's another car there.
Well, once he's inside, I guess I'll go up and ring the doorbell.
Ha! The person who opens the door is... Oh!
Hey!
Not the guy who was following you. It's a beautiful lady. This is actually a movie star.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah. This is Greta... Oh, what's her last name?
Got her. That's a teacher I know.
Greta Odemer. Greta Odemer. And she says, yes, how can I help you?
I had a fella tailing me a little while ago and figured I'd see where he was going. Wasn't exactly the best at it.
She, as soon as you're saying that, she like puts a finger to her lips and says, he's in my guest house. And I think you need to not be here right now. Not when he's here.
Is there a better time?
Yes. He should be gone in a couple of hours. Come on back.
All right.
You can't be here right now.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. I'll talk to you in the evening, man.
Yes. All right. Thank you for coming. We're not interested in buying anything, though. Go away.
I wave and walk back to my car. Get back to my business.
That's
now I
something
have
going on.
evening plans.
Yeah. So that had a little bit of time. So where would you like to go first? Would you like to go check out... Would you like to kill some time and go here? Or would you like to go to the casino?
I'd go to the casino.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Go take care of my investigation business, then hang out with a movie star.
Yeah, right?
It's a big day.
Yes, it's you've not had a lot of work for a while, and now it's just going wild. All right. So it's a swank joint. All right. As you're coming in, Chico Marx is flirting with the hat check girl. There's just Chanteuse singing Cole Porter's in the still of the night. She's very lovely. She's in a lounge adjoining the main hall. Bing Crosby is nodding appreciatively in the big room while he's playing craps. Roulette and blackjack is happening. It's all going on, baby.
All right.
Any skills you want to use while you're looking around here?
Assess honesty.
Bunch of criminals, baby. Bunch of criminals.
I think in this case, would it make sense to use assess honesty to see if someone's cheating?
Yeah, sort of. At least as you're looking around, the tables are as they are supposed to be. You know, the house tends to win in the long run, but you don't see that there's necessarily any cheating going on outside of that. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And nothing like deliberately broken. It seems like an honest casino as much as one is.
Cool.
But you do notice, actually, as you're thinking about like cheats and whatever, you see that there is more security than the last time you were here. There are a lot more guys with some bulges on their coats than the last time you were here.
Dex just checking out dudes' bulges at the casino.
Yes. The bulges being guns, by the way.
I figured. I just had to say it.
Yeah, no, I get it. All right. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to go say hi to Whitey?
I'll check with the pit boss first and see if he's heard of a Helen Deacon.
Oh, okay. You talk to one of the functionaries you've seen before, Burl Treehorn. Treehorn's like, nah, I don't. Yeah, Helen. Yeah, I've seen her around. She's the boss's girl.
Processing. All right. Any chance I could talk to old Whitey?
He's meeting with his accountant right now. Just, kill some time at the table, so he'll be able to see you in about maybe half an hour.
Assess honesty.
He's telling the truth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will try my luck at blackjack, I'd say.
All right. Make a cool roll.
I will spend my self-possessed for an extra die on a cool roll.
Okay, great.
That way I don't forget to use it.
Yeah, good point. All right, make a roll.
Roll was a 4.
All right. You play a couple of hands, you don't get in too deep, things are fine. You're not going to end up owing the casino a bunch of money.
Perfect. That's what we call a successful gambling trait.
Yeah. You probably don't want to own the mob casino too much money.
Not anymore.
Yeah, the problem, you could have taken the problem Vice Hound, and this could have gone a lot worse, which would make you like a real degenerate gambling addict. But, all right, eventually you are said that you could go see Whitey. You're escorted down the corridor, and you see that the person leaving Whitey's office is like this nervous pinstriped like shrimp of a guy. He's carrying a folder bulging with adding machine tapes. He's checking his watches. As soon as he sees what time it is, he starts walking a little faster.
I would like to trip the dweeb.
All right. Ah! Hey, man, I got things to do. What's the problem?
Honest mistake, I swear.
And the guy who's escorting you sort of grabs you and says, Whitey doesn't like to be kept waiting. Leave Mr. Block alone, okay?
Mr.
Sorry, Phil.
Block.
And he helps him up. All right. Be on your way, Phil. Whitey's got to meet with this guy.
I'm inquiring after a Helen Deacon.
All right. So you make your way into Whitey's room. It's nice. Hunting trophies, oak furniture, a rifle rack. The whole thing, he's trying to give you like the rustic manliness sort of thing. And as he's talking to you, he feels, you can already tell he's thinking, he's got a lot of things on his mind. So, Dex, buddy. Hey, I might be able to use somebody with your talents soon. Thanks for coming in. What can I do you for?
I'm looking into the disappearance and sudden reappearance of a Miss Helen Deacon. Boy out front tells me you're acquainted.
I love that gal. Helen was my gal. I haven't seen her in a while because, she wanted to keep the things all hush-hush. Her degenerate father may spend all of his days at the tables here, but she still wanted to keep it a secret, so I was trying to sneak around past her father. But, I love that gal. I'd do anything for her.
Well, I suppose you could start with your whereabouts about 6 weeks ago. That's when she went missing.
6 weeks ago? Huh. I was here working. Look, we gotta be making all the money, okay? McAfee needs the cash. I'll get my receptionist to get a calendar. What, are you implying I did something?
Just following up.
Okay.
I've been hired to see what exactly happened to her, and, your establishment came up, and figured I'd pay you a visit.
Look, what happened to her?
Well, we don't rightly know.
Well, why hasn't she been here?
Well, she vanished for a couple of weeks and turned up, and hasn't said a word since.
She hasn't said a word. Well, that's probably that sister of hers, she tried to barge in here, making a big old scene, trying to haul Helen out of here. What a witch.
I'd be a little surprised if it was her sister, as that's who hired me. I mean, it's definitely happened before.
Look, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those cultists that she hung around with, okay? I don't believe in that stuff, but, they do black magic rituals under the full moon near the Hollywood sign. Where that starlet offed herself a few years back? I don't know, maybe they give her the old voodoo.
Dex will look horrified. The Hollywood sign, you say?
Yeah. The gal, Peggy something.
Peggy, 16.
But she's at her... Where is she these days?
Yeah, she's staying with her sister. This cult you mentioned wouldn't happen to be the Argent Flame.
That's it. That was the name of it. Yeah.
Well, I guess they might be the next stop here. Well, actually, I've got a date with a movie star.
That must be nice. Look, you been to their house lately? Is Helen okay in there?
I certainly hope so. That'll be a later stop.
Look, I normally sort of bust in there and take her out. What's the bra gonna do anything to me? But, I've got my own stuff going on right now, a bit of a spot, so probably her house is the safest place for her.
Mobster says he wants to take out this woman, and I look horrified once more.
He doesn't want to kill anybody, but he would have just, demanded that Helen be let out and put under his care.
Russell, the player, gets that. Dex might not get it in the moment, though.
Yeah, exactly. Look, okay. It's fine. Don't worry about this. Streetwise, you've been hearing, and this is Whitey sort of confirming it, he's been having trouble with another mob syndicate that's been coming into town lately. Might be the time to ask him about it.
How things going with that other mob? Going good?
Look. I give my money to the people who need my money. Okay, so we operate here. Everything's fine. Everybody treats everyone right. I'd never cross Mr. McAfee.
Of course.
But people coming in these days, some guy from the East is coming in, and he's been putting some weight on me as well. His guys are threatening, saying that we need to give him money too if we want to operate. Say they're in charge of the city. That's, I'm not trying to start a fight or anything. So this guy Bud Barron is squeezing me on behalf of this mook named Bugsy Siegel who's been coming into town from over in the East.
That's a ridiculous name. I can't imagine anyone could take him seriously.
Yes. Well, you never call him Bugsy to his face, okay? He'll kill you.
I'll keep it in mind.
Okay. They're, they got an office in that magazine warehouse downtown. Things are getting to kind of be around it, but you know what? Don't worry about it, okay? So, guy's gonna drive these guys off, then I won't need to be paying the extra money to them, okay? But for right now, things are a little bit tight.
I can relate.
Yeah. I know you can. Well, maybe you can hit one of the tables. You could make it all back, right?
No.
You know what's going on, don't you?
Well, what usually goes on is I play at the tables and I lose a ton of money.
That's why you're my favorite, Dex. That's why you're my favorite.
I don't happen to have a lot of money to lose at the moment.
That is a shame. Well, you hear anything about Helen, you let me know, okay? She's a good broad. I was glad to have her in my life. I hope she gets better soon.
As do we all. Take care.
Any other skills you want to use while you're in here? I'm not saying they're even already skills to use, but
I think that'd be the end of their interaction.
Yeah, that's probably it. All right. So what do you want to do now that you're out of Whitey's office?
Well, Russell, the player, wants to go burn down the magazine warehouse, but Dex will probably keep on the mystery. Yeah, we'll go with what Dex wants to do here.
Don't bite off more than you can chew. It is very easy to whack a guy like you.
Yeah, especially when I'm already wounded.
Yeah, right. You've been punched in the face already. Everybody should have been mentioning that shit. Everyone should be mentioning that when they look at you.
Nah, it's okay. I've got a makeup kit in the car.
Got it. Okay.
This is not the first time.
All right. Okay, so you're going to go to your car, maybe go to your movie star date?
Yeah.
All right. As you're going to the parking lot, a bomb blows up under one of the cars. An orange fireball throws the car up into the air. It lands on its back, crushing a couple of other vehicles. Fiery debris comes hurling at you. Athletics check.
Okay.
Advance on a 10, hold on a 4 to a 9, setback on a 3. You could take the problem object of ridicule if you would like a bonus die.
No, I'm too cool.
You're too cool.
That's a 3.
So a chunk of hot shrapnel hits you and burns you.
Perfect.
You're going to get the problem burned.
That makes sense.
You're not having a very good day.
Chicks dig scars, especially real fresh ones.
All right. It's going to be a -2 penalty on all physical tests and a -1 on all other tests until you take time to get your burns treated. But you have a black eye, and now you have a burn on. Where do you have the burn? Is it also on your face?
I mean, I think that's maybe just a little too much character
That's
for this guy.
That's probably too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, right side of his belly.
Okay. As you are sort of knocked back and burnt, everybody's sort of running around like, panicking, obviously. Except you notice that there are two men sitting in the front seat of a dinged-up Ford, and they seem cool as cucumbers. And they drive off very casually.
Oh, I was going to take out my Saturday night special and pop a few shots off.
You absolutely can.
I'd love to do that.
All right.
I don't know if I roll anything for that.
It's not gonna work. You take a shots and they drive away.
Yeah, just flavor.
Yeah. But one of them sort of looks back at you. You think one of them... No, you don't really recognize any of them. As you're thinking about it more, nah. They just seem... he kind of looks like one of the goons who's worked for mobs around here, but you don't know his name.
I know that guy. It's that guy who's... Nope, I don't know that guy.
Yeah. So you could try to hop in your car and follow them, or you could try to see what's going on, the aftermath of the explosion here at the casino.
Aftermath.
All right.
I fired some shots at him. I've done my work there.
Yeah, right. Bing Crosby runs out and says, "My car!" Whitey and Burl are flanking him, and they actually help him up because Crosby's knees give out as he's looking at this. Whitey's telling him, "This wasn't aimed at you, Mr. Crosby. This is a message from me. Don't worry. You're going to be kept out of this. Your name is not going to be... Don't worry about that." And they're leading him over to another car and driving him away.
All right.
And Whitey looks up and says, "Jesus, Dex, you look like shit."
I feel a little worse than that, actually.
All right. Well, I've got business. See yourself out.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it. I'm going to go do this movie star thing and then probably hit a hospital.
Yeah, okay. Just don't die, kid.
I am in a tremendous amount of pain.
All right. You want to go see this movie star?
Yep. I made plans and I'm going to keep them, dang it.
Yeah, you got to keep your plans even if you're burnt like crazy.
Yeah.
You are let in by Greta once again.
There's just a quick scene of me in the car with my makeup kit out, and I'm holding it over my burn wound, and then I'm like, okay, there's a hole in my shirt. This isn't going to do it.
She welcomes you in. The first thing she says is, Are you okay?
We'll be after a quick stop at the hospital. Got anything to drink in this joint?
Yes, I do. And she goes and she has some whiskey.
Perfect.
Yeah. It looks like she has some other drinks too, but she offers you some whiskey and has some for herself as well. As you're talking to her, you notice a little bit of a German accent, but I am not good at that. So we're just going to say she has a little bit of a German accent.
Okay.
Yeah. Why were you trying to find Mr. Spielman's?
Well, he seemed to be following me, and I was kind of curious about why that would be. He ended up here, so figured you might have some idea.
He's a bad man. He's a very bad man. Hey, you, what do you do for a living?
Oh, Dex Raymond, private eye.
I'd give you $200 if you kill Spielman's and dump his body in the river.
Yeah, all right. I could use the cash.
Okay. Just want it.
Hey Paul, would you say that you are haunted by nightmares of the things that have happened on the Crow's Codex?
I occasionally have some difficult dreams that come up. Most of those are associated with the most recent story.
Anything in particular with most recent story that's really haunted you?
The time where there were more mouths than we expected, or more eyes than we expected, or more eyes in mouths than we expected. It's hard to narrow it down.
Was it the fish with human teeth?
It's definitely up there.
If any of these things sound horrible to you, you can find them and more on the Crow's Codex, now part of the Imaginary Broadcast Network. It's as real as you want it to be.
Hey, Russell, what are you doing with that old skull over there?
Necromancy!
Hey, What did you do to me?
Don't worry, I'll have you out of there in time for the next episode of Daniel's Dread Tales. Yeah, probably.
I don't like probably.
Anything kicking around there in the meantime? Maybe someone from Dice Fiends can help with this.
Have you ever played Peekaboo? Bursting his eyes like superheated eggs. I am Heinz.
The Imaginary Broadcast Network is happy to return Wrath and Story to the air. This episode's now streaming on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts, hopefully.
Wait, what am I thinking? Obviously, this is Job for Crow's Codex.
I know that this will give you the cash. You are going to become a murderer for hire, which is a very dangerous sort of situation to end up in.
No, I'm gonna do it. Why not?
Okay. I guess Dex isn't that good of a guy.
Yeah. I did start this out saying that too many of my cases end in murder.
Christ. Okay. Oh, you know what? You don't get the card until you actually do it.
That makes sense.
Well, you're a good man. You should just kill him. I appreciate it.
I'll take the money up front.
No.
Well, Miss Odemer, you can either pay me the money up front or you can have a murderer coming around your place.
The murderer has been coming around my place plenty.
Oh, he's a murderer too? Morally in the clear.
Well, he's a very bad person. We knew each other in Berlin. He has photographs. I'm not ashamed of who I choose to love, but these photographs, they are intimate. They're exposing. They would ruin my career.
Compromising. So, I've dealt with the like before.
Yeah, so he gets to live in my guest house.
And just getting rid of these photographs wouldn't be enough. You'd want the guy offed.
Maybe that would be enough. Maybe. But I worry. I worry he might have copies somewhere. But look, I think you need to understand. He has some very nasty, evil friends in Germany. Okay? He says he's a reporter, but he's working for those bad people in Germany. So be careful.
Well, I'll see what I can do about your problem here.
Thank you.
Is this guy's car parked out front?
No, he's not here.
I'll wait for him in the guest house.
All right. The guest house has one living area, and there's a small washroom. There's a pull-down bed, a desk with a chair, a love seat, and a standalone wardrobe.
Classic noir move. I'll hide in the wardrobe.
He doesn't come back that night.
Oh, jeez. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to murder him somewhere else.
You could investigate the room, though, before you go.
Sure. See if I can find these photos at least. Be weird if he's just carrying them on him all the time.
All right. What sort of clues do you think, what sort of skills would you like to use to investigate the scene? Any of them will work, really, but...
I suppose evidence collection makes the most sense.
I guess that does make the most sense.
Maybe photography, but that seems like a weird way to use that.
Yeah. There are photographs that are recently burnt in the fireplace. Besides that, though, when you're looking around, you find no photos or negatives. You have a friend, Virginia Ashbury, who works over at UCLA. She might be able to, reconstruct these photos at her lab. It would take some time, though. As you're looking around, you find a key behind a loose chunk of mortar by the fireplace.
Interesting. I will pocket that.
Yeah. As you're looking at it, you recognize that this is a key for a safe deposit box.
Ah.
This is going to be the Security First National Bank on Spring Street.
Okay.
As for the desk is there, but the desk is locked. And besides that, that's about it.
All right. Well, I don't want my victim to know I was here, so I guess I can't root around too much.
You can, for the record, just to clarify, I'm not saying you have to do this, but the locksmith skill should also be called lock-picking skill.
Oh.
If you see that there, to clarify.
I do have that. I could give that a go.
Inside, you find a set of letters, a postmark to Berlin, but they are in code.
I do have cryptography.
Oh, well, it's in German. You're able to put it together, actually. You realize that it's like the most easy, like, I'm not quite sure how you use cryptography to figure it out without being able to speak German, but you are able to figure it out. But you don't read German. You would need to find somebody who speaks German.
Well, I'll write this down on a piece of paper and definitely keep it on my person for when my body is eventually found.
All right. Yeah. I guess you could probably find somebody who speaks German, but we need to figure out who that is.
Yeah, there's a couple of them around.
Yeah, a couple of them around. Yeah. Anything else you want to do?
Head to the hospital.
Head to the hospital. All right.
Sure.
You're super broke, my mans.
Oh, right. The U.S.
Yes. You're super duper broke.
What does one do while broke and injured?
Also, when you go out and you hop into your car, there is a man who walks up and knocks on your window and says, "Are you Dex Raymond?"
Dex Raymond, private eye. Oh, I'm rolling down the window as I do this.
Yeah.
Dex Raymond, private eye. Stick hand out the window for handshake.
All right. He shakes your hand. All right. I'm sorry that I have to do this, but this is my job. You are behind on your payments, and I am going to need to repossess this car.
Resist urge to shoot man and become a murder hobo.
You can drive off, though.
Absolutely.
All right.
Best part, this is probably not the first time Dex has done this.
Yeah. If 6 or more is a full-on success, 2 to 5 is a limited success, 1 or less is bad.
What's the problem I can take on this one?
Let's see. This is what problem would this be? Smashed headlight.
Perfect. Worth it.
Okay. All right.
It was cocked on a 6, and then I re-rolled it to a 2. So a total of 4.
Okay, 4 is fine. You're able to get away from this guy, but he might be following you again soon.
That makes sense.
All right. Also, all driving checks undertaken at night will now automatically result in a setback.
Okay.
Because your headlight is smashed. You're going to need to go to a garage to get this fixed. Oh, wait.
All right. I need to seek medical treatment somehow.
Yeah. You could go deeper into debt. Going to get some medical treatment if you would like. You could also just, like, hole up in your place and just rest for a while. Try to treat it yourself to an extent. Do you know anybody that might be able to help you out? I have a list of a bunch of people you know that if it comes up, but it probably doesn't come up.
I have a friend at UCLA, Virginia Ashbury. You know what? They probably need some help with the medical students.
Actually, Dr. Jeffrey McIntosh, who is a shrink that you know, and is also a medical doctor, is a guy that you've known since high school.
Perfect.
He actually has sent stuff your way occasionally when he's got rich, troubled patients that need some sleuthing done. And in return, he's able to, like, give you some advice and will occasionally help you when you've gotten hurt.
All right. Yeah, I'll go talk to this guy.
All right. So he has an office in, it doesn't matter. He has an office. You're able to head into it. I was trying to figure out where he has an office. It doesn't matter. And you come in, it's relatively early in the morning. You actually see him in the parking lot, like getting out of his car. And he looks at you and says, "Jesus, Dex, what the hell happened?"
A bit of an explosion. Don't trouble yourself over it. I could use a patch up, though.
You certainly could. Yeah, okay. Come on in. I think I could help you out a little bit. Jesus.
I appreciate it.
How were you in an explosion? He says as he's bringing you inside, and we're seeing cuts of him like sort of treating you, putting stuff on. This is gonna hurt. I'm sorry.
Understandable. It was more of an adjacent thing rather than in the explosion.
Okay. Was somebody throwing bombs at you, Dex? I thought you were trying to stay out of that sort of mess.
Well, I was talking to a suspect, actually, and actually it had nothing to do with what I was talking to him about. It was a completely separate thing.
Completely separate thing.
Just wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. Well, my dad always said there's no such thing as coincidences, so I don't know. But what's your case about, if you don't let me pry in? It's okay, I know. Confidentiality, but come on. I've told you about some of my stuff. You told me about some of his. We're buddies.
I'm actually working 2 cases at the moment, but the first one is missing girl who actually turned up again.
Well, that seems like an easy case to solve.
Well, the case has to do with the state she turned up in.
Oh. What happened?
Still trying to figure that out.
Is she injured?
Not a physical injury, I suppose.
Trauma. Well,
You and your
if you need
funny
any-
psychology words.
yeah. Well, if you meet up with this girl, I could try to, if you tell me about her, I could try to give you my advice, but, I think that's not really your concern, right? You're trying to find the people who did things to her?
It seems that way, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Good as new, Dex.
Fantastic. Hey, you
right.
know anybody who speaks German?
Let's see.
It's related to a quick case I got.
You know what? I don't know if you know this. I speak German.
Oh,
Yeah, I learned it. Also, that movie star that you were in a house with obviously completely spoke German. You could have talked to her too, but whatever. I don't know how I know this, but I'm going to tell you this.
I say a lot of things while you're patching me up. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. You heard. Yeah. Yeah, no. Let me take a look at those that you were talking about. Let's see here. Oh, God. Joseph Goebbels? Is that how you say this?
No, I don't speak German.
Fair. All right. This is the letters come from the German propaganda ministry.
Oh, boy.
They seem to be scolding Spielmans for finding only compromising material on small fry, like this actress. They say that the boss wants pictures of known pervert Charlie Chaplin, who is a critic of the Nazi regime, who is a known pervert and cradle robber.
Did you say Charlie Chaplin?
Chaplin.
There you go.
I thought I said Chaplin. I Charlie Chaplin.
Could have just been the headphones being weird.
Yeah. All right. Jeez, Charlie Chaplin. That guy's like rich, famous movie star.
Well, I suppose he's kind of famous.
Yeah.
He's no Greta Odomer, though.
There's also said that Spielman needs to talk to somebody named Pelley, Pelley, who is a man sympathetic to the cause in Los Angeles.
Aha! That's where I'll find him and murder him.
And you realize that's got to be William Dudley Pelley, who is a well-known Los Angeles mystic who does a bunch of weird rituals and also is extremely patriotic. Yeah.
The people pretending to be extremely patriotic are actually fascists?
Yeah, right?
Weird.
So, you gotta be careful, Dex. I don't know how Nazis are involved in your case. Is this a separate case or whatnot? But you don't want anything to do with Nazis, okay?
I'll take it under advisement.
Look, even that Mickey Cohen from the mob that's coming into town, he hates Nazis. That's maybe the only sympathetic thing about him.
Well, if this job goes right, there'll be fewer Nazis to worry about.
I guess so. You should, I don't know, you should tell Chaplin about this. Like there's a foreign government conspiring against him.
Yeah, I suppose that might take precedence over the, non-missing person.
I mean, it's your case, Dex. It's your case. Best of luck out there. Try not to end up in any more explosions. And don't get killed by a Nazi. Jesus.
Well, it's like I always say. I can't promise that.
Yeah, that is what you always say. All right. Where would you like to go now?
Charlie Chaplin's house.
Charlie Chaplin's house. You know what? We're not going to play out the scene, but let's see just some shots of it. Charlie Chaplin thanks you graciously. He pays you well.
Yay.
You may remove the broke problem. And you gain the card Charlie Chaplin owes you.
Perfect. Then I hang out in his bushes, shoot the Nazi, and dump his body in the river.
Let me find the Charlie Chaplin card. All of these, things these are all parts of the mystery. They're all things together, but you're really following this one down. and just gone after every single clue, which is great. Just know that there are some red herrings in there. But sometimes those red herrings are tangentially related. So maybe they're like salmon hair. I don't know. And sometimes they make it so Charlie Chaplin owes you a favor and pays you really well.
He's going to have to put me in one of his movies. I'll have the only speaking part.
He says, you know what? That Hitler, I should do a movie making fun of that guy.
That's a great idea.
You've been a great inspiration for me, Dex. Fuck. All right. So where do you want to go now?
You had said the Argent Flame were in the phone book. You actually said phone booth, but I'm pretty sure you meant phone book.
Yeah, I meant phone book. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I guess I'll check them out. Probably their headquarters is not under the Hollywood sign.
No, it is not under the Hollywood sign. You could try to research what the fuck he was talking about with that, but...
Yeah, there seem to be a lot of characters prepared, so I get that.
Yeah. This is a very... You see, there's a lot going on in some fun ways.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the Order of the Argent Light. Headquarters is a chapel that's a Pueblo-style bungalow that's now converted and retrofitted into being covered in Hermetic spiritualism symbols. It's on Loma Linda Avenue. It's in Hollywood.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And as you come in, there is a confident woman who has sort of a middle-aged glamour about her and says, "Ah, a new initiate? A new seeker? How can I help you, my friend? I've not seen you here before."
More of a private investigator. Here inquiring after a Helen Deacon. Name ring a bell?
Oh. Helen. Yes. Perhaps you could come in, take a seat. She seems, she's acting a little less spiritually as she was looking you up and down. You could tell maybe she was trying to give you a cold read. And then this is, okay, yeah, no, Helen. And
take a seat, light a smoke.
What? Oh yeah, of course. Can I have one of those?
Oh, certainly. I'll light it for her, of course. They got candles here, right?
Yeah, yes, they do have candles all over here. You can tell she very much wants to tell you about her spiritual beliefs, but she's going to talk about Helen. She joined about 2 years ago. She came in with a bunch of silly girls, maybe her friends, but all of them went away, but Helen was a true believer. She stuck around.
All right, then.
She couldn't find a place for herself, she said, you know? From the death of the mother and her gambling wastrel of a father, she couldn't find anything to do until she found us.
I see. And
yeah.
Do you happen to know what she was up to about 6 weeks ago?
I know that she was spending a lot of time with Whitey Alexander, and I know she was spending time with him because her father owed Whitey Alexander an awful lot of money.
I've actually already spoken to Whitey. His story actually corroborates this. Is there anything else you can tell me? Sort of intimidating.
Okay. Look, I saw her about a week before she disappeared. A dark cloud was over her.
Oh, so you know about the disappearance then?
Yes.
Might I ask how you came about this information?
Well, her donations were not coming in. And I actually just yesterday called her sister.
I see. So donations, a regular thing here at your establishment.
Well, we need donations to bring our message to the world. You know, they must know about the secret masters that rule the world. And
okay.
That connect to the silver light of the Nodens. That's the Argent Light that we speak about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there are dark races who conspire with ancient deities like Yig and Shub Niggurath to plunge mankind into an eternal dark age, only by empowering the secret masters with the resources that they need to return this planet to their stern command, that will banish these forces of entropy. And to do that, we just need to have people open up their eyes to the Argent light.
Well, that sounds like a bunch of quackery to me.
Well, I'm sure you would say that. Does it hurt you to not know where your next rent check is coming from?
Hey, I know where my next rent check is coming from. Charlie Chaplin.
Huh. What about the one after that?
Probably the same. I was told he paid me handsomely. Me and him are friends.
Friends with Chaplin?
Yep.
Well, you should tell him to come here sometime.
I think I'll refrain from doing that.
Look, I worry that Helen may be in danger.
Well, that's entirely possible. Why exactly would you say that?
She had a mystic thread about her. I suspect she may have been wounded mystically.
Big skeptical nodding going on. Mm-hmm.
And you cannot be healed with blind science. But I could heal her. But I suspect her sister would not let me see her.
Well, she's looking after the mental health of the girl. Is there any chance Simon Pelly is around?
William Pelly?
William. Why did I write Simon earlier?
I don't know.
That's weird.
You know of William Pelly?
I figured he'd be a big name around here.
Look, I know. You may know William Pelly. He wrote about his near-death experience.
And Charlie Chaplin. I know Charlie Chaplin.
Well, yes. He said that he saw God and Christ, and they gave him the mystical powers that he uses to fight the dark forces. But he had to change his public writings to cushion the shock of the revelation that he had in fact met with the Nodens. He is the one who told me about the dark races. He informed me more about what's been going on.
Uh-huh.
So, if you want to know the truth of the world, you should talk to William Pelly. You, by the way, without, she's been saying dark races a lot.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, she's been,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I got that, it's like, oh, I don't need to listen to any of this.
Yeah. I did not know about the dark races until Pelly told me about them. But regardless, Pelly might be able to give you guidance, but please allow me to see Helen. I can heal her. I can figure out what happened to her. I am a spiritual seeker. I am connected.
I'll put in a word for you with Margaret.
Thank you. That's all I could ask.
That word is no. No, no, no.
She needs to be better. And then maybe she'll be able to, begin to donate again.
No rest for the wicked and all that.
Yes. Anything else you want to do here? Any other skills you want to throw at her? If not, we're on our way.
Yeah, let's flee.
Flee. You're getting the vibe that she's a real believer, but is also a con artist, if that makes sense.
That's how it works, yes.
I guess that is how it works.
So, probably not case relevant.
I mean, I don't know, but...
Oh, I'm just worried if I follow up on this, then it's just going to be much more racist talk.
Yeah, you are getting maybe the hint that this might not be the way to go.
Yeah.
Again, Pelly is absolutely a fraud and a fascist.
Yeah.
Clara, who you were talking to before, might be more of a believer, but, she's also, not much.
Yeah. Well, my next stop, I think, could be trying to talk to Helen herself.
Okay. How do you want to approach her? Do you want to call? Do you want to just drive up to the house? What do you want to do?
Actually, I want to approach her with the fullest stomach I've had in a week. Oatmeal only gets you so far.
Got it. Headlights still broke on her car, by the way.
Not worried about it.
Okay. Hopefully you won't have to drive at night. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Definitely.
Okay. Where do you go to get a meal? Where do you go?
Nice little diner, I know. Reasonably priced, good food, and some very dark coffee.
Great. I was going to say, like, do you go to the Brown Derby on Wilshire Boulevard? No, but it.
I'll go to the Hollywood Cafe in the States.
Yeah, I know. You're good. You're good, Canada boy. You're fine.
I can name some places around here that you wouldn't recognize too.
Exactly, yeah, but, one of our cities is famous.
We've got a famous city.
Which one?
Vancouver.
All right, you get your food. You're feeling great.
All right.
Do you want to give Margaret a call?
Oh, certainly.
All right. Hello. Where are you making the call from? You don't have a cell phone.
Oh, absolutely, a phone booth.
Just a phone booth? All right. Mr. Raymond, so good of you to call.
Yes, Dex Raymond, friend of Charlie Chaplin.
I did not know that.
It's pretty recent. Been a pretty busy day here.
All right.
Haven't made much headway on your case, but I will say keep anyone from the Argent Flame away from your sister.
I was planning on it.
Well, I would just like to reiterate that concern.
Absolutely. I'm sure that if she came in, she would only disturb my sister more. Have you learned anything? Have you found out where she was or who she was with?
Not as such. Lots of people seem to care about your sister, but nobody seems to care enough to know where she was before she vanished.
Huh. Well, I am paying you for results, detective.
Of course. I said I'd let you know as soon as I found out anything. Well, after talking to that Argent Flame dame, I've learned to keep him away.
I guess that's something. Well, please let me know if you find out anything else.
Well, additionally, I'm thinking I might want to speak with your sister after all.
I don't know if this would be the... All right. I suppose it was maybe expecting too much to not be able to speak to my sister for the entire case.
Well, strangely enough, some of these people are concerned that you're holding her captive in there, and I can at least allay their concerns a little.
Who would say such a thing?
Several people. Don't trouble yourself over it at the moment.
My address is such and such in Beverly Hills.
California.
Yes. It's the fancy part of Los Angeles.
Oh.
Are you able to come over in about an hour?
As long as that repo man doesn't turn up.
Sorry, what?
Nothing?
Well, you go over to your car and get ready to drive over to Beverly Hills. There's a woman who sort of rushes out in front of you and says, Wait. Are you Dex Raymond?
Dex Raymond, friend of Charlie Chaplin.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take your car. It's being repossessed by the bank.
I run over her foot.
I will sue you, you piece of shit!
You can't sue me if you can't catch me.
Well, by running over her foot, you have escaped this repo person. The Deacon Family Manor is a large 3-story neoclassical structure. As you are let in through the iron gate, a butler greets you stiffly at the door. Please wait right here while I summon Miss Margaret.
Can do, Jeeves.
It's Wheatcroft.
I'm not going to remember that.
Fair. Margaret comes down and says, Mr. Raymond, I assume you're here to see Helen. Come on up.
I'll follow her up the stairs.
All right. She unlocks the door to her sister's room to let you in. Her and Helen's nurse, a young black woman named Ella Perot, are in the room. And the room itself is stripped of everything. There's barely any furniture or adornment. You even look, there's an adjoining bathroom, and you see that the mirror has been taken out. There are no scissors, there are no nail files, there's nothing. As you think about it, you realize that's because those are all ways that Helen could hurt herself.
Mm-hmm.
She sits on the edge of the bed wearing a clean housecoat, and her hair is wet from a recent shampooing. It's hanging in a disordered mess. She's staring straight ahead, moving her lips as if mumbling, but making no sound.
I'll pull up a seat. Is there chairs in the room, or is it just the bed?
There is another chair for you.
All
that
right.
They brought in.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Miss Deacon. I'm hoping to make some sense out of what happened to you.
She doesn't say anything. Do you make eye contact with her?
This is the 30s.
Okay.
I'm a fairly confident person, so I think it's not difficult for Dex.
All right. You feel like a vertigo sensation, like you're falling into her eyes, as if the madness they contain are reaching to pull you into their depths. I need you to make a stability roll.
Ooh. Oh, that is just an 8.
Is an advance, 5 to 7 is a hold, 4 or less is a setback.
All right. I wasn't expecting that to be just listed as another stat on there. Got 2 dice in that. That is a 10.
Okay. You snap out of it. You're shaken. You think a little bit about some of those names that Clara mentioned, but you shake it all off. You have gained Edge 6, Bedrock Skepticism.
All right.
You are fine. No, there's nothing weird going on here.
Edge 6 skepticism. I don't know how long I'd have to be on Reddit for that.
God. Where is Bedrock Skepticism? Gotta give you all these cards. I know you're really looking at them.
I am, actually.
Yeah. The supernatural, malign deities? What a load of hogwash. You'll never fall for that bunkum. You could spend this card to counter a mythos shock problem.
Nice. I suppose that technically would have been a 9 since I have -1 on all checks.
Well, no, you got your burned healed, didn't you?
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
What's the card still doing there then, man?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm doing a bad job. I should have deleted that card. You're right. Gonna delete that card. You still have that shiner, though. It's gonna take 2 days to get rid of that shiner. It's only been 1 day.
Fair enough. And I did sleep in a wardrobe last night.
Jesus. Yeah, you probably don't need that money anymore.
Oh, I assumed that we killed the Nazi off screen.
You know, we could think that, you could think that, whatever.
Yeah, that was a B plot. We never got back to it.
Yeah, exactly. They edited it out.
Yeah.
See, go back to, okay, so you're looking at her eyes. She isn't scary. In fact, she's beautiful.
Uh-oh.
I need you to make a cool check. 5 or more is an advance, 3 or 4 is a hold, 2 or less is a setback.
That's a 5.
Oh, it's a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. You see why somebody might fall in love with this beautiful damaged waif. That someone would consider herself her white knight and swear to revive her from her troubled sleep so he could live forever in her magical castle. Fortunately, you are not that kind of someone.
I'd like to live in a magical castle, but that's not how I want to go about it.
You are going to gain the edge. Self-assured or self-possessed.
Oh.
You get it again.
Handy.
You keep not falling in love with these deacon women.
They're just not my type.
They're just not your type. You get a big minus on that roll if you had taken the lonely problem.
I bet.
Although you get a bonus on that roll you just made if you already were in love with her sister.
Huh. How very monogamous.
How very monogamous of you, yes. All right, anyway, back to talking to her. Sorry about that.
Yeah, speaking of talking, I'd like to lean in a bit and try and hear what she's mumbling. I don't know if that's an investigative ability.
Mostly just muttering and whimpering. You maybe hear the word blood and teeth.
All right, tooth blood.
Well, Mr. Raymond, is there anything else?
Reassurance. Just try and reassure the, what was it, catatonic waif? Helen.
Helen, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? Just...
You're safe now. Your troubles are over. But we want to find out what happened to you and make sure it doesn't happen to others.
She's saying nothing. This woman is gone.
Spooky.
I mean, maybe Dr. McIntosh would be able to explain it, Mac. But right now, she's just completely checked out. I mean, I bet Clara could also give you an explanation as well. But, and Margaret says, as I said, I don't know how useful this conversation was going to be. She's not talking to anyone. She's not talking.
Well, I suppose I could look into her eyes some more and try to drive myself mad, but I'm not sure that'd do it.
Probably not for the best.
Yeah.
Come along. Let's see if there's anything else we could speak about.
Oh, certainly. I'm friends with Charlie Chaplin, did you know?
I did not know that.
Helped him with a Nazi problem. Thanks for listening. The next episode will conclude this story, then we'll be back to Low Places on August 9th. If you're hungry for more Dread Tales, we'll also be running a one-shot in the Alien universe with a special guest on July 28th over on our YouTube channel. This episode featured Daniel Fernandez as the GM, and Russell McCracken played Dex Raymond in addition to doing the editing and sound design. The system we used was Gumshoe 121 in the Cthulhu Confidential setting. Daniel's Dread Tales is a member of the Imaginary Broadcast Network, and you can find us on social media through the links in the episode description. Our art is by Trin at Tea Time Witch on Twitter. Our main theme is by Claire L.W., and additional music used were Deadly Roulette by Kevin Macleod of Incomptech.com, and The Transylvanian Castle by Sam Francis or Samuel F. Johans on Pixabay. You can find links to these in the show notes. Again, thanks for listening, and until next time, keep feared and have run.
Jesus Christ. You're a mess. There's your Charlie Chaplin's friend.
No longer introducing myself as a private eye.
So stupid. I love playing with you, man.
Back at you.